Hey everybody, welcome back to Barefoot Botany and Bonsai. Today we're going to be pruning these Kalanchoe bonsai trees. Now this is not a traditional plant to use for bonsai, so there is a lot that needs to be done to it. The reason why I chose these are very meaningful plants to me. These were actually a family heirloom, the original plant, and I have them propagated all over the house. I give them away to people. They've been propagated probably hundreds of times, and I absolutely love them. They're great. They get these little orange flowers on the tips, and they're just really fun to work with because they're hardy. They're a succulent, so they're kind of drought tolerant. They don't like a lot of water, so they're very easy to raise, very easy to propagate. I'll do another video on the propagation of Kalanchoe at another time. But today we're going to try to prune up these beautiful little specimens. Now what's nice about Kalanchoe is the more you prune, the smaller the leaves get. So you're going to get new growth like this with the small leaves as opposed to the large leaves, which is when it gets a little stringier. So we're going to start, this one's a little different, so we're going to start with this. Now, one of the most important things with bonsai, as most of you might know, is determining the front. So what I had when I planted this, these were just these little tiny pieces that were rooted in glass, and I'll show you how to do that as well, little canning jar. And it's super simple to root from the stems. But if you look inside here, you can see right here where I did cut it. It's tough. There we go. You can see where I cut it in here, and where the stem was cut and then dropped into the water. So the whole thing with bonsai, when you use a cut piece like that, what you want to do is then grow it to cover. So like if I turn it, you can definitely see where that is, but as I go this way, it covers because this has grown to the side. And I'll also show you at some point how to do that. It's just a matter of turning it to the sun. It wants to find the sun. So I was able to take this upright piece. I saw a piece shooting out here. I just turned it to the sun and it grew the perfect cover for it. Now it can also go this way, but I'm going to show you why it probably won't with this particular tree because we're going to prune this down. So it's similar to pruning any tree or plant. You want to go to a leaf node, and this one is the perfect one to show you what a leaf node is. So right here where the leaves split out, there's a little what's called a leaf node, and it's just that swelling where the leaves split, and that's where we are going to cut to. Now what you want to do is cut into the node. So I'm looking at this and I'm probably deciding on this one right here to cut into because these are small leaves. I want to get all the big leaves off. So I'm going to go in here in between that leaf node and just clip it right off, and you'll immediately see kind of a swelling of moisture coming to that area, and it's because these are succulents. So if we rip one of these leaves, you can actually see the moisture in there. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pull off these bottom ones, and I'm going to drop that in some water, and this will make a brand new plant. They usually root in about a week, but you want to leave them in the water for at least 3 weeks or so just to get this. It makes like a really great long strand root cluster. So now that we have the big leaves off here and we're left with just little leaves, we're going to move our attention over here because there are a couple larger leaves on this side that I want to take care of. So on this particular one, there's these two large leaves, and I don't want to take off too much, but I see that there's this leaf down here. So this could actually cause a shoot, so I'm going to take it off right there. Now it looks like I'm trimming off a ton, but remember, this is the front of the tree. So what our goal is here is to make it like a little canopy, almost like a, they look really similar to like a rubber tree. So I kind of want to grow them in that fashion. So this will crest here, crown, I guess you would call it. And then we have one more branch back here. Now this one's kind of going backwards. So what I'm going to do is cut it up to this leaf node, and then I'm going to actually turn this side to the sun so that this branch will start to migrate towards the front. And you can see how cute that is now. Nice size, good scale. Everything is to scale to the trunk. So basically these are acting as leaf mats that you would grow on a standard size bonsai. Now there is this one right here that I could technically cut off, but you can see as you look at the front of the tree that would definitely, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So you can also cut these leaves. The fun thing about using Kalanchoe for bonsai is that may actually air layer. You can see on this one that they air layer themselves. So you don't have to do that at all. You can cut this branch off right here, drop it in some water, and let those roots grow out a little bit more. So that's what we're gonna do with all these pieces. These are all gonna go in water. And right here, that is our new Kalanchoe bonsai. So very nice and cute, good looking tree. Now this one is a little bit different. This has a bend in the trunk. And so we want to again determine the front of the tree, which is probably this one. So what we're looking at first is this one is coming right at you, right into your face. This one's called an eye poker when they come right into your face. So we're gonna cut that back, you can see under here, to this leaf node here. So that's taking it back pretty significantly, but we still have these top leaves which are gonna cover our cut piece on the big branch. So same thing up here, we're gonna cut it back pretty significantly because these are lots of big things, but you can see down here there's this little tiny leaf coming. So we're gonna cut back to him and let him kind of take over. And that's actually a split leaf here, which is gonna be able to grow into something a little bit nicer and bigger. So you can see we're still covering our cut piece when we look at the front of the tree. So now we move to the back, and I think we're actually gonna cut this back pretty significantly. So let me move the light in a little closer so you can see this. Up here on the back shoot, there's a little piece growing right there. There's a new stem. So what we want to do is encourage that stem because it's going upward, and we don't want it to go this way because it is sort of a slanted, I wouldn't call it cascade, but it's at least slant, like wind swept, but not really. I'm just kind of growing it as if the tree leaned over and then it had fruit on it or something that made it heavy and pulled it down. So not technically windswept because you wouldn't see that in a jungle setting. But anyways, so you can see that little shoot coming straight up, and that's what we want. We want to grow a nice mat right straight on top, so that's just the branch that's turned. That'll make it look more like an old tree that's been there for a long time, because a windswept tree will hit with the wind and grow this way until it gets woody, and then it kind of starts growing up. So we're going to actually cut back to that new growth in here, and that will inspire it to do better with its life and grow straight up, which in turn, once all this grows back in and we get this shoot going straight up, it'll really make a nice little ball on top, similar to a banana tree or a rubber tree. Eventually we're probably going to end up pulling this just because it air rooted, and I like when that happens. We can put it in, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can even cut these roots off. I don't mind them. Some people think they're unsightly, but I actually don't mind them. It kind of adds to the tree being like ancient, and it's got all this other weird stuff happening on it. So there's our two, let me get your front there. There's our two Kalanchoes that are now little baby bonsais. I like them a lot. I would encourage anybody to go ahead and grab some Kalanchoe. They're super easy to work with. Like I said, I'll make some more videos on actually propagating Kalanchoe and creating different types of plants, different types of plantings with them. But for now, these bonsai are a very treasured part of my collection. So thank you guys for watching Barefoot Botany and Bonsai. We're going to have some more videos coming up, of course, as always. I'm trying to kick out maybe a couple a week. and try to keep up with that schedule. So thank you guys for watching. God bless and stay green.